So just as a warning, I did just wake up, so the hair will not be getting any better. Hello everyone! It is a very snowy Saturday here in Pittsburgh, March 12th, solid couple inches of snow, but what else should we expect? So I thought it might be fun to just sit down, I have my mug of coffee here, and just kind of give an update, some marathon training stuff, and also I got some comments, some questions that I think would be fun to answer, to do a little like running Q&A. So, as an update, if you watched my last vlog, you know that I visited Scotland the last week of February, and my friend and I climbed Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh. Incredible view, great hike. However, I think either during that hike or in sprinting to catch my plane on the following Sunday, I did something to my left ankle. The week after, I ran 4 miles that Tuesday, and my ankle started off like niggling a little bit, but towards the end I was like run walking, which I wouldn't do for 4 miles just because it was like pretty painful. And then I tried running 2 more times that week, and it just was not cooperating. I still don't know what the issue was. And at that point I was like, okay, well, I didn't really run while traveling. I'm not really running this week. I'm gonna miss 2 full weeks of my training cycle, or training plan. And I don't want to run on a possible hurt ankle because I only have 1 left ankle and many more races beyond the Pittsburgh Marathon on May 1st. So I made the decision. I knew it wouldn't be responsible to try to run the May 1st race missing like a full 2.5 weeks of training, especially since right now we're like 7 weeks out. So I dropped down to the half for May 1st. I was really sad, disappointed, just because I really wanted my first marathon to be in Pittsburgh, and especially since I was training here. But I talked to my dad about it, and he has some experience in running, and he was like, races come and go, but an athlete stays an athlete, so it's more important that like my ankle is protected and I can have the ability to run healthily and more than complete this particular race. So I'm dropping down to the half on May 1st. However, I am still in the midst of marathon training because there is another one in the area. It's about an hour-and-a-half north on June 4th. Which is like perfect timing because I really wanted to run one before my birthday in July, and an extra month is like the exact amount of time I would want to be able to like spend this coming week just like getting back into the groove of regular runs, and then basically pick up where I left off with like 1 extra week. No, 2 extra weeks. So I'm viewing this as the opportunity to perform better, you know what I mean? Which, you know, if you encounter an obstacle, change the method, not the goal. So the goal is to run a marathon. The method will just be run it in June instead of in May in Pittsburgh. And I'll be able to get some half marathon race experience in the city, which before the real deal. So that's exciting. That's my little update. So I kind of reconfigured my plan and my training spreadsheet, but I don't know off the top of my head. I think since it's a Saturday race, I'm exactly 12 weeks out today, which, as you guys know, I was like 11 weeks out, my last week of like proper intense training. So that's good, extra week, get back on it. It was like really mentally hard to not be able to run. Like I truly thought I was gonna have to push my goal till like August or September or something, and I did not want to do that. So God always has a way. I also really need to stop drinking this. This is my 2nd cup that I made mostly for the benefit of this video, just to have something to hold while drinking, and I don't feel like vibrating with caffeine right now. So on one of my previous videos, a lovely person, Alex, I don't want to share your last name publicly on this video, but Alex left a couple really cute comments and questions on my video. Let me just pull it up. They said, "I'm training for my first marathon and came across your vlog. You provide really great content. My husband, kids, and I used to live in Pittsburgh. What an amazing city. I love seeing all the familiar sights in your videos." Which, cheers, Pittsburgh is an amazing city. Glad to see that. And then they asked, "If you have time, perhaps you can discuss how to run safe through the city and on trails." A couple other questions, so figured I could answer those questions. So the first one is, how can you run safe through the city and on trails, and how about running at night? So I don't really run on trails a whole bunch. I've been on like the Three Rivers Heritage Trails and the Gap Trail and things, but I've only biked on those. I've never like gone running, which I like to do when it gets warmer. But in terms of running on the street or the road, mostly I stick to sidewalks unless it's like a more residential street, then I'll switch to on the street. But just the usual running tips of, you know, running on the opposite side of traffic, so on the left side of the road, so you can see cars coming, they can see you coming. I don't run at night in the evening. I don't run alone in the evening when it's dark out. If I'm running in the evening, it's with my running club, so there's people around. And when I do my solo runs, it's either like on my lunch break or when it's still light out or early in the morning. So like 6 a.m. Which then it's still just like a different, even though it's dark, it's still like a different vibe because fewer people are out and about. And I feel more comfortable just like running on the roads. I really should have some kind of reflective vest or like light up something when running, but because when I'm with my running club, other people have those items, and then when I'm running by myself, usually in the morning, I'm only running in the dark for the first part of my run, and that's usually when there are a lot fewer people out and about. So I don't wear any special gear, but if I, like, probably in the winter when it gets dark again, I should really invest in those for safety issues so I don't get hit by a car. And, you know, look both ways when crossing the street. Cheers to that. How about running in the rain? How do you tackle that? So unless it's like pouring rain, usually a non-issue for me. I have darn tough socks that I wear when it's like really snowy or rainy. And that usually keeps my feet warm when rain inevitably seeps in or water inevitably seeps in. And the key issue, especially with glasses, is a hat with a big brim. I have this like absolute ridiculous hat I got from Goodwill. Like it's like a solid trucker hat. And it looks so silly, especially with my hair tied back. But when it's raining, I wear this and it does the trick. And it's also bright pink and like really garish, so people see you and don't run you over. Do you run the hills? Pittsburgh is full of hills, and any insight you have about running hills, finding trails or routes would be very beneficial and interesting. I do run the hills sometimes. Obviously, I try to maintain constant forward momentum, and I'm not a huge run-walk person, but usually I'll just either reduce my pace or put on a good song that keeps me going. Pittsburgh is very hilly, but that means the Pittsburgh, marathon, half marathon are also really hilly. So I just view it as a benefit to race day if you're running on hills because you're used to it, and your quads on the downhills and hamstrings on the uphills just get stronger. I'm a lot stronger on uphills than I am downhills. I still haven't kind of figured out how to keep from breaking and just like destroying my quads on big downhills. But yeah, and what that means when you're on a flat route, you're more used to it and you're better prepared. In terms of finding routes or trails, I find that, I mean, besides the running club, which if you have a running club in Pittsburgh or in your area, highly recommend, because they can show you areas of the city you probably wouldn't venture into anyway. For example, I very rarely go to the north side of Pittsburgh unless it's to run with my running club. And maybe to go to a couple museums. But other than that, I pretty much wouldn't ever go to that side of the city. So that's really helpful. But if you're looking for running routes near you, RunGo is really, really good because you can see where other people have logged runs near you. And you can just kind of click the route, and then it just like follows your GPS, tells you how far you are, tells you when to take a left, when to take a right. It's really good, especially if you're running through an area you're not familiar with. I find this helpful because, especially on my long runs, I found that setting out without like a planned route in mind is just like too much mental strain along with actually having to run. So I like using RunGo for that. The only downside of RunGo is you have to actually start at the like starting point of the route, or else like the GPS gets all wonky, which is kind of frustrating because I live by a main road. So there's a ton of routes that go by the main road. So I could just like hop in on mile 2 and theoretically finish the route. But the audio cues won't load because it doesn't register you as being on the route. And obviously I don't want to keep checking my phone and, you know, like looking and seeing where I am. So that is a downside. But if you are willing to drive to the start of a route or something like that, then it's beneficial. So that is my little Q&A, little update. Next week, regularly scheduled vlogs will continue. Yeah, essentially picking up right where we left off. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. I don't know if these videos are fun. I'm still trying to figure out like what exactly my niche is, because I want to mix things up just from the usual like week in my life running vlog, which last week's travel vlog was really fun for that. And then maybe I'll sprinkle in a couple talking videos like this. Like I'm realizing now, like full marathon training, how many insane mistakes I made when I trained for my first half in 2019. So maybe that's another talking video, or maybe I can go through like the running fit I wear or something like that. I'm still very much a beginner, but you know, might be fun. I watch videos for inspiration to get me going out the door, so hopefully these videos can serve the same purpose. But yeah, that's all from me. Have a great week, guys. See you later.